You can tell we're aiming for cozy vibes because, you know, Christmas tree. But to be very clear, I've just got my birthing ball. So I'm just like bouncing up and down in it. So if I'm moving weirdly, it's because my hips are finally like, oh my God, we're not stuck in one position. I've also got a hot chocolate. It's probably not hot anymore, but it's there. It's adding to the vibes. You may have seen the Google gods advertising loop earplugs. If not, well, I mean, now you will, because I've spoken the words and they're always listening. If you're thinking of buying these in advance of Christmas, maybe someone special really hates listening to you, or, you know, you've got somebody with sensitive ears, then I think this review is going to be helpful to you. Because the very first thing that I thought when this advert came up was, what is the point? Okay. Now, we're going to go through some pros and cons. To be completely transparent, I'm not a big earplug wearing person. I don't even really like it when headphones go in my ears, but as long as they have a little bit of malleability and don't really wedge in there, then I'm okay with it. First up, our pros. Hypothetically, if you use these instead of, 100 earplugs, then there is less wastage. They're also pretty stylish. You can do a few configurations. That's pretty cool. The cons. Is there less wastage? I haven't done a full analysis of like the life of these and the impact of them versus a gazillion earplugs. I imagine it depends on your usage and, you know, the import fees and so on. I suspect these are made in China. I haven't checked. I could be spreading hearsay, but I suspect it's probably similar air miles. They're pretty light. I suspect it's going to be pretty minor as a difference. But equally, you do throw out less, so that's good. I think the key point you need to ask yourself is, are you using earplugs currently? If you are, then you could upgrade to these, or the person that you're buying for could upgrade to these. If not, I don't think you're suddenly going to become an earplug wearing person. Speaking as somebody who, from the beginning, I'm not a big earplug wearing person. The reason that I have these at all, the reason that I jumped in, took the plunge, made the purchase, we were going on loads of overnight modes of transport, and I just went, you know what, it may be another useful thing to have. I did use them a bit, but they didn't revolutionize my travel. And I was trying to be a cheapskate by going on the overnight modes of transport. So I don't know, every little helps. It's good to have an option. But the biggest issue I have is how they're made. And that sounds a little bit weird because I literally just said that I didn't really do any research. But they come with either silicone rubbery bits or the foamy, almost normal earplug material. When you look at the instructional video, I don't think I'm misremembering this. You put it in and they're like, okay, well, put it in your ear and twist, and you're supposed to make a vacuum in your ear. And that's supposed to block out sound. That makes total sense. However, the reality of doing that, these are pretty well made. So I found it when I did that with the rubbery ones that it just felt like there was a massive vacuum in my ear. Anytime I moved the earplug, I could feel it pushing on my eardrum. And that was so uncomfortable. I maybe have slightly sensitive ears, but it also made me go, hang on a second, this is pretty risky because it was uncomfortable. I was more likely to fidget with it. But also anytime that got knocked into, I just worried about the safety of my eardrum. I think we put a lot of things into our ears now that we shouldn't really be doing. And this feels like one of them because yeah, it's effective, but I don't think when you're talking about a piece of skin, I really do not want a burst eardrum. So that's the biggest issue I have. So having said that, I then used the foamy ones, which are a lot more comfortable. Not 100% comfortable because you really need to wedge it in there in order for the plug to be effective. But it didn't feel like it was making as much of a vacuum in my ears. So I wasn't as worried about it. To conclude, it really, really depends on how much you wear earplugs. If you are an avid user and want to upgrade, you can get a pair of over-engineered earplugs. It's useful having them on me. I put them in my bag. Don't normally use them, as I said, but it's just nice to have the option. Just take that warning, please, from me to you and yours. Protect your ears and happy gifting. Merry Christmas.